Hi everyone, welcome to Table for Two. I am the Elusive Bigfoot.
And I am Onezie.
And welcome to our top 5 moments from the last year since we have been posting online.
Our anniversary of posting online.
Our anniversary of posting online. I believe it was actually 1 year ago today that we thought, what if we posted one game each day? And we talked about it. Kind of like us all being at shelter at home together, a way of connecting. And so that kind of became what you are now seeing on Facebook or Instagram or Nextdoor or even YouTube. So we're going to be talking about our top 5 gaming moments for the year. So did you want to start with any honorable mentions?
Well, I'm going to start at the beginning, which is what we went to my son's wedding on March 14th of last year. And when we got back, everything was starting to close down. There were 23 people on the airplane on the way back. And we decided to do a game every night for the couple of weeks it was going to take for this thing to blow over.
Yeah.
Right.
And one thing I should say is we are filming this the day before. So it really was 1 year ago today on Pi Day, March 14th.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started out doing one game a day for what I thought would be a month,
Yeah.
but turned out to be many months.
So my honorary mention is actually when we culled the games, when we decided to go through all the games and decide which ones are we going to keep, which ones are we passing on to a better home, someone who can really appreciate the game in a way that, we thought, could give it more justice than where we have, whether it's because we are done playing this game or we realize later it's not really a game for us. So we got rid of a lot of the games to a local game store that does secondhand games, and it was interesting because it opened up a lot of room that we have on the shelves. We are already pretty, how do I say this, strategic with how we store games. So I'm able to get more than 300 games on the shelf, and then we pulled down 30
or 40 games.
Yeah, something like that. So that's my honorary mention. Okay, let's go to our top 5 now.
Okay.
Onezie, what was your top 5?
Oh
Number
my gosh.
5.
Number 5, I'm going to start now at the end. So we started at the beginning before.
Okay, it's a short story.
Toward the end of the year here, we've been doing a lot of expansions, right? And this has been very fun for me because I always knew that expansions for these games existed, but didn't really have time to get into them or have much interest in doing the expansions. So really diving into like all 7 expansions for On-a-Rim or the, 14 expansions for Escape, Curse of the Temple, things like that. Really diving into those expansions really give me an appreciation of those games. And like this expansion's okay, but I could take or leave it. Or this one is really super cool. I want to play this one with the game every time,
Yeah.
And so expansions is where I fall.
And number 5 gaming moments for you.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 5 gaming moment was actually our commitment to start posting daily. Like you said, Onezie, when we first looked at this and said, hey, this will be kind of fun, why don't we post one game a day? And we were thinking, like you said, a couple months tops. We're like, we have enough to do that. I said, on the outside chance that this is going to go for like 5 or 6 months, we easily have enough games to do that. So the fact that we committed to this and share this with all of you, that was my number 5.
That's a good one.
Number 4?
Number 4. So that leads right into my number 4, which is all of our posting on Facebook, Nextdoor, and Instagram. I really feel like we've created a gaming community. So it's not just she and I posting on Facebook and about what we're doing, we got all kinds of followers and lookers and commenters. Between all the 3 sites together, I think there's maybe 400 people or
There's
something
more than
like
that because one of them alone has 400 people.
Okay,
so we probably have close to 600 or 700 followers at this point.
Yeah, and so one thing I'm excited about is that community, and also the idea that when this whole pandemic thing is over, that might translate into actual get-togethers with people to play games,
Yeah.
So we've done a lot of games for 2, but it would be nice to play a game for 4 people, or
Yeah.
something like get together with 3 groups of 4 people and have a party or something like
Yeah.
that. So
And we've talked about it. We've even mentioned it on different groups that we're on, that we're looking to one day actually host a party. People come on over and then we game together. And we are still looking forward to that moment. We're not there yet. And I think that's just a wonderful moment. I agree with you on that. My number 4 is when we realized this is actually going to be a year. This is not 6 months. And so we started thinking, like, do we have enough games to last us a year? And what we started looking at, well, we have all of these expansions, and I have games coming through Kickstarter still. And of course, every once in a while, we do our trip over to one of the friendly local game stores that we go to, or something like that. And so we've definitely, even now there are still games we haven't posted yet. So knowing that there was a way to keep our commitment and to keep entertaining you. Hopefully you find this entertaining with the different games that we have found and the different quirks that we're finding within the games. That was one. That's number 4 for me. What was number 3 for you?
Number 3. Why don't you do your number 3, and then I'll catch up by the time you're done.
All right. So my number 3 is similar to what you were saying about realizing you had a community. It's that when people encourage us by posting or liking any of our stuff, that really says something to me. We've gotten some great feedback and some great comments from people. Thank you so much for that, because I'll tell you, once in a while, it's like, is anybody even looking at this? We're not really sure. And then every once in a while, we get some great comments like, oh my gosh, I haven't played this in so long. Or there was even when we posted about Mahjong, and then there started a whole thread of information passing back and forth with people. That's what we really like, is when people are actually creating your own communities. So people encouraging us and responding. That's my number 3.
Okay, I'm going to hop in on my number 3 as being part of the learning experiences. You learn what you like and what you don't like, right? And one of the things together that we learned that we don't like is games with the take that mechanic.
Yeah, we don't like that.
Aha, I gotcha. Yeah, screw you. Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
So we actually have gotten rid of a bunch of our games that have that take that mechanic, because we just avoid them. Or she and I do this thing where we sort of bend the rules a little bit sometimes. So we'll play a game and leave out those rules that are take that. You know.
Are you going to go into this area? Because if you will, then I won't do that, and you can go ahead and have that. I think that speaks to our relationship as well. It's very similar to that.
And in one instance in particular, we learned to play Killer Bunnies, which I had on this shelf for a long time. Like, let's play Killer Bunnies. Let's play Killer Bunnies. And then we learned it. We finally learned it. And it's 100% take that. It's 100%. It's 100% mess with your neighbor and try to mess them over,
Yeah.
And no. So we finished that. We reviewed it, and we're like, we never got to play that again. So for some people, they love that, and it's got to have that. But for us, no take that.
Yeah.
So that's my number 3.
Now, I will say this. While we don't like to play Take That, we do like Villainous, which is a Take That game. And somehow at Disney, it just feels different.
Yes.
All right. Number 2, what was that for you?
You
want me to do mine? Okay. Number 2 is buying games at the friendly local game store. We've had actually some of our friends also buy us games, which is so generous, and it's in support of what we're committed to on these groups, and it's also in support of the local game store. So we do thank you for that. Supporting those small businesses right now especially is making a difference. So that's my number 2.
Okay. So I talked about things that we don't like. And on my number 2, I'm going to talk about what we like, right? We like a lot of different kinds of things, but one thing we really discovered that we like a lot are co-op games. So cooperative games where both of us are working together to try to beat the game, And I think it started for me, the co-op game kind of thing started with Forbidden Island. Right? I learned that one, and it's a pretty easy game. And then we went through like 2 or 3 different Forbidden games where we learned how to play them, and all kinds of other cooperative games. We recently did all the expansions on Honorim, which is usually a solitaire game, but we were playing it as a co-op game for 2.
It has the rules for it included, so you can play
Yeah.
with multiple people.
And games like Pandemic, we actually did a legacy game, which
We've
is
done 2 of them.
2 of them, where you
Yeah.
you actually play an iteration of 15 or 20 games in order to move the story along and try to beat the game together.
Right, which we've posted. So if you're interested, take a look at the groups. We'll actually post something in the link too, so you can see that.
Yeah. So number 2 for me is co-op games.
Awesome. And, I want to speak to that because you mentioned that we don't take that. Well, what we've actually been able to do is take a lot of the games that are not co-op and somehow make it a co-op. We have figured out a way. Okay, I have figured out a way. If we do this, it would be that we would both win together and we might actually finish at the same time. So.
Or games that have a rule: the first player to do this wins. We're like, well, as long as we both do it in the same round, then we both won.
Don't we just say that we both won?
Things
Now,
like that.
we will, when we are talking about, and we're going to talk about future plans, when we play games for a playthrough or something like that, I think we will play it to the rules so that you can see actually how it is supposed to play. All right. And finally, number 1.
Number 1. Okay, I'll skip and do my number 1
All right.
first. So this is a minor thing, but in doing all these different games, I learned a lot about the different kinds of mechanics or the ways you play the games. So you might look on our reviews, we say hashtag co-op or hashtag take that, or hashtag
Resource management.
Yeah, worker placement, things like that. So I learned about these 15 or 20 different mechanics that sort of include themselves in all games. And for Valentine's Day recently, I was able to create a simple game for Valentine's Day that was based on our life. So it was a card game. It was pretty easy to win, because you got to make it easy to win, right? Otherwise, it's a heartbreak. So that's my number 1 moment, is I learned enough about it to actually create a simple game and share it with someone that I like to play games with.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, my number 1 is actually kind of similar, which is realizing, something I already knew, that, Onezie, you're my favorite gaming partner. And I really don't think that there's anyone else that I would want to play 1 year of games with, only one person, except for you.
Are you tired of me yet?
Not yet. I'll let you know. And still, we would like to play with other people too, because we have enjoyed, playing with larger groups, and we are looking forward to that again. I myself am in 3 different gaming groups, I think. Plus, I demo regularly for Steve Jackson Games and for some local stores nearby. So I am looking forward to going back to that. But let's talk about our future plans for a moment.
Okay.
So a couple of ideas that we've had is one thing is doing a playthrough, actually showing people this is how the game is played. So we're going to be creating some videos. We'll probably post them once a week or so. We haven't exactly decided, but we'll let you know as that goes on. Other things we've thought about has been for us to film a video how to set up a game. So you'll see a lot of videos how to play a game, and then you see people playing a game. But sometimes they leave out the part about, well, how do you lay out the game? And sometimes when you've played it enough, you don't need to see how to play the whole thing again. You just want to see what cards go to whom, where do they go, what pieces do you need. So we've talked about doing those type of videos.
Yeah, I think in particular, we were thinking about doing setup videos for 2 players. So, and like you said, they leave off. A lot of times you can find even people playing through a whole game, but they never show you how they set it up. So if we tell people how to set up for 2 players, then they'll know how to do that.
And we might even mention, if you have a 3 or 4 player, this is what you would do. So, all right. So anything else you want to say in conclusion?
Oh gosh, probably so. Why don't you conclude, and then I'll think of something to conclude with by the time you're done.
So I want to thank all of you for being so supportive and for watching and liking our posts and our videos. It's meant a lot to us, and if this is the thing that will help you get through what you've been going through this year, then it's been worth it. And it's something that we can reference later, like how did we play and what are good games that 2 people can play. Okay,
I'm going to conclude with, you all are very lucky right now to be seeing the elusive Bigfoot
Oh,
in
yeah.
person on screen. So she got that nickname because it's hard to get a good picture of her. She's a little bit camera shy. So
Notice this is the first time that this has happened.
you've seen a lot of her hands, on unboxing videos and stuff, but this may be the only time that you see her face.
That
So,
could be.
Soak it in. This is it.
Bookmark this video.
Yes, this is the one.
Give us a thumbs up.
And I'm really looking forward to playing games with people in person too. So
Yeah.
we can get together and have some parties when things calm down.
Yeah. All right. So, from Table for Two, I'm the Elusive Bigfoot.
And I'm Onezie.
All right. Thanks. Bye. Thank you. Bye. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Oh, wait, let's do one more.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.